guys, don't mind my laundry drying, hanging up in the background. So I just went out, you know, went to the bookstore, of course. I actually have not bought any books in a very long time, so I rewarded myself with 2 little new books. And I think that's okay. I think that's fine. It was like 23 quid for 2 books, which is actually a lot. Like, I feel like, but my little independent bookshop here is so cute and I love it. I like to support them, so I go there when I can. The 2 books that I got were A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara and Just Kids by Patti Smith. You guys, I'm really trying to get into my litfic era and also nonfiction. Like, this is a biography, I believe. Whatever it is, there's no fantastical beasts. I've heard absolutely amazing things about this book. The back, it says, Just Kids begins as a love story and ends as an elegy. It serves as a salute to New York City during the late 60s and 70s and to its rich and poor, its hustlers and hellions. A true fable, it is a portrait of 2 young artists' ascent and prelude to fame. I cannot wait. It just sounds absolutely amazing. Also, you know, like being in a big city like London and being an actor, I feel like this will be inspiring as well as hit particularly hard when it comes to the chat of being an artist and how hard it is in a big city. I also got A Little Life because, guys, I'm gonna do it finally. I also have just found a group of London girlies who are book girlies as well, and we're actually having our first in-person book meeting, going out for dinner and talking about A Little Life. So those are the 2 books that I got today, and I am reading A Curse for True Love right now by Stephanie Garber. Absolutely am loving it. This is literally one of my new favorite fantasy series. One of my new favorite series, period, of all time. I'm obsessed. Jax, I never knew that I would fall this hard for a blonde man. Then again, I was crazily in love with Rowan Whitethorn, so I guess this is the second blonde man that has stolen my heart. So I'm gonna try and finish this. These books are very, like, easy reads. Like, the font is thick and you just go through it so fast because it's just so much fun. I have class on Tuesday and I need to read this script like 5 more times before class on Tuesday. So yeah, so I'm gonna study my script. I'm going to read A Curse for True Love. I have dinner with my friend Amy today. We're going for a roast in my neighborhood, which I'm really excited for. I'm probably just gonna read in my bed, as usual. Okay? Okay. So we're gonna do a quick little April wrap up. I read 6 books in April, and for the most part, it was a pretty good month. Like, I had, I think, like 2 5 stars. We will find out. Okay, the first book that I finished in April was, of course, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Oh my god, you guys. Honestly, I have not had a series have this much of an impact on me in so long. I was so immersed in the world. I was hanging on every single word on the edge of my seat, like I could not get enough. I immediately ran to the store, my local Waterstones, to go get the next one, and
it wasn't in stock.
So then I literally went across London, England to find the next closest Waterstones. I am so dramatic, I didn't go across London, but I went pretty far. I went like central London to Touristy-ville to find a big ass Waterstones that I knew would have it. Didn't have the second one. So I was like, oh my god. So I went back to my local Waterstones and I said, I can't find a Ballad of Never After anywhere. You need to tell me where it is or die.
Or perish.
So they were like, bestie, we will order it in for you. It seems there was some sort of glitch in the system where they didn't register that all the copies were gone, so like they just didn't order it back in. This follows the story of Evangeline Fox, whose love of her life, or so she thinks, breaks her heart, marries her stepsister, Shady McShaderson, and she goes to a fate called the Prince of Hearts to make a deal to undo what has been done and get her boy toy back. Fates are very mischievous beings, and he basically uses Evangeline to do his dirty work, in a sense, and they go on this amazing adventure together and are kind of forced proximity, like kind of Bridgerton-esque, but fantasy. Absolutely amazing. Second book I read in April was A Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Gerber. This was 5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars to the dome, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand? Like, I can't say much, obviously, because it's the second book, but, you know, still following Evangeline and Jax, the Prince of Hearts. If I could read this over and over and over, I think this would genuinely, you know, people are like, if you could read one book over and over again for the rest of your life, it would either be The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue or this book. I was taken away. The Magnificent North Babes. I was gone. I was frolicking in the fields. I was eating sugared pastries in a magical inn with tiny dragons licking my face. I'm sorry, okay? 5 stars. 5 stars. In April, The Serpent and the Wings of Night duology. Really liked it. I believe the first one was 4 stars, and the second one, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, was 3 stars. Serpent and the Wings of Night, I've talked about it in a few other videos, but it follows Oriah, who is a human girl who's been adopted by the Vampire King in this world where humans are kind of the lesser species and vampires rule everything, all like the great houses of different vampire families. And they hold a kind of Hunger Games-like thing, only for vampires. People volunteer to do it. It isn't like they choose for you. It's basically just to figure out who is the best vampire warrior and then they take the throne kind of deal. Oriah is gonna be the first human to go into this competition, and she strikes up an alliance with another vampire named Rain. It's quite dark. There is a little bit of spice. It's quite violent, very violent actually. But if you're into that, if that's like right up your alley, Twilight mixed with Hunger Games deal, I would highly, highly recommend this. So yeah, Serpent on the Wings of Night, 4 stars. The second one, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, was 3 stars because I did really like it, but it was a lot more, I felt it was a bit slower. It was more political, which is great, love that. But it was just different. I just felt like the first one was very like, the competition was just so cool. So I think the competition in the first one was probably the reason why I liked the first one more than the second one, but overall, great romantasy, like definitely give it a read. I read Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke, a series of actual letters, real letters, written by Rainer Maria Rilke to a bunch of young aspiring poets in the 20th century. These 10 letters, written by one of the greatest poets of the 20th century, offer deep and sincere advice to the young poet. And it's not just for poets, like, if you're an artist of any kind, painter, actor, musician, poet, I urge you to read this book. I got so many valuable little tidbits and lessons from this book. It's absolutely insane. It was so beautifully written. It was the kind of book where you read and you're like, I've been struggling to ever find a way to put that feeling into words, but they did it absolutely perfectly. They touch on all aspects of life and are valuable to anyone wishing to be a poet and to those who are not. Written with power, style, and conviction, these letters will guide and inspire anyone who reads them. This was 5 stars. If you ever need inspiration, literally just open it and you'll be like, oh yeah, now I remember why I'm putting myself through this hell to pursue my dream. It's like that. So please. A classic. Love it. The last book I read in April was Rebecca Ross's Ruthless Vows. Highly anticipated second book of Divine Rivals. This was a 4-star read for me. Divine Rivals was 5 stars. Kind of similar to The Serpent and the Wings of Night duology. The second one, it was a lot more based on the war and the politics and the lore of this world that we're in, which I absolutely loved, but I live for the little moments between Roman and Iris. I think they're so cute and wonderfully written and beautiful. Although there was less of that in this one, there still was so much that was... it was so good. Roman Kit. Roman Kit actually doesn't exist. There's no men like Roman Kit, so that's great. Can't really say too much, but you know, it's about Iris and Roman who have magical typewriters that are able to write letters to each other no matter where they are in the world. It's about love, war, gods, evil gods, mysterious gods, mischievous gods, and a very unlikely hero. Oh, loved it. 4 stars. So those were all the books that I read in April. For May, I'm going to try and read. I have still so many books, like A Fate Inkling Blood, The Crimson Moth, Powerless, Bunny, Gallant, Twin Crowns. I've got a lot on my plate. Okay, that's my update for right now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this little video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know your favorite book you read in April. Let me know what book you're planning to read in May. I would love to know. Let me know any videos that you would like me to do in the future. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Make good choices. Go out. Follow your dreams. Have a beautiful life. Your life is beautiful, okay? I love you. Bye.